Hey everyone, so good evening. Okay. I mean, you are free to stop me in between, and if any questions, so that's perfectly fine. And in this session is related to EPS, Employee Pension Scheme, and this is based on my best understanding after going through all the relevant websites. But if there is, I mean, what I'll be presenting or what I'll be discussing is again what is my best understanding, and based on that some of the calculations related to that, and you are free to challenge it, you're free to question them, and in case if you need any further clarifications or you want to validate it with your finance team in your organizations, most welcome. Okay, you can do that. Am I audible?
You are, Prasanna. We are on mute intentionally.
Okay, good. But again, feel free to speak and feel free to question in case if you have anything. So first of all, let me start with EPS, right? What is EPS? I don't know whether is it writing here. Okay. So EPS is employee pension scheme. So okay. EPS, right, is employee pension scheme. So here what happens is whenever we get a salary, say I have a salary of 50,000 rupees. Okay. So out of this 50,000 rupees, 12% from my salary will go to PF, or we call it as a employee contribution, right? EMP contribution, 12% of this. And remaining 12%, as we know, is supposed to be given by my employer. Okay. But out of this 12%, so there is 8.33% will go to EPS. Go to EPS. Okay. EPS. This is what is our employee pension scheme. And then the rest will go to our PF account. Okay. Is this clear?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So now the question is whether 8.33% of 50,000 is how much? Okay, let me open Excel. Or okay. If 50,000 is my salary, right? Into 8.33%, that is 0.0833. This should be 4,165, correct? If you check your statement from a PF contribution statement, the EPS contribution will not be 4,165. Anybody has noticed that? If your salary is...
Yes, Prasanna.
Okay. Okay. So what will be the amount in EPS? Any idea?
If I raise a standard of whether it's 1,200 or 1,800, I'm not getting,
Exactly.
but then
Exactly.
somewhere.
Right. So this is close to 1,250 rupees. How did we arrive at this figure? Correct. So there is one clause in EPS. What they consider is our pensionable salary is not supposed to be more than 15,000 rupees. So irrespective of if our salary is more than 15,000 also, then I have to consider only 15,000 for as a pensionable salary. So EPS is contributed, calculated based on this 15,000. If we calculate it multiplied at 0.0833, that is 8.33%, it is 1249.5 or 1250. So this part will go to my EPS account. And anything, for example, if my salary is 50,000, right? Then 50,000 is my salary, and my employer is supposed to pay 12% of this, that is 0.12. This is 12%, right? This is 6,000 rupees. Out of this 6,000 rupees, 1250 has gone to my EPS. Remaining 4,750 from employer will go to PF account. And similarly, this 6,000, this 12% of my 50,000 is 6,000 rupees. This will be employee contribution. So total, the amount that goes to my PF account is 4,750 plus 6,000 rupees. Sorry, plus 6,000 rupees. 10,750 will go to my PF account, and only 1,250 will go to EPS account. Are we on same page now? Okay. So out of this 1,250
Yeah,
now,
so President,
yes.
yeah, sorry, no, we are on the same page. President, apologies. It's like unmuting on the phone is becoming difficult.
Oh, okay,
The
okay,
delay in response, that is the reason.
okay. Oh, sorry, no problem. Okay, let me share my full screen. Okay, so I showed the calculation in calculator. I don't know whether you could able to see that. Okay, so this is how it will be in a EPS. Now the question is how much this EPS is, what employee pension scheme, right? How much pension I'm going to get. So let's assume that what is the current pension I'm going to get. So we need not have to search any of the websites. We can directly go to EPS website itself. It will tell me how do I calculate my pension. This is a website, EPS pension calculator. Okay, I'll have to put my date of birth here. I'm just putting it as 65. Any questions? Okay, if no questions, please go on mute. If any questions, please ask me. Now I have to add service here. So this is basically my date of joining. When did I start working? Basically, when did I start contributing to my PF account? And when did I exit? This I'm just putting yesterday's date. So whatever is our date, we can put the date here. NCP is non-contribution period. How many days I did not contribute to EPS? That is, for example, if I'm changing from one job to another, so I may take a gap of 1 month, right? So that is on 30 days. I'll have to put it here. So this is, as you can see, it is between 16 November 1995 to 31st August 2014. Within this period, how many days I did not contribute to EPS? I have to write here. And from 2014 onwards till I retire or till my contribution stops, how many days I'm going to how many days I did not contribute to EPS, I have to write here in number of days. I'll just add surveys, and we get here as our pension. So this is the pension. This is what you say is in case before 2014, if I had started my pension, then this was a pension. But after 2014 is 3092, basically 3129. And there is, see, this is reduction due to early pension. This is, we are eligible for pension after turning 50, but we cannot go more than 58. If it is more than 58, then 3129 I'll get. If I'm getting it before between 50 to 58, then I'll be getting 3004. Okay, so this is how the calculation is. So what is it okay? Is this clear? We're on same page, right?
Prasanna, sorry, Mahesh here again.
Yeah, yes.
So here, you only gave the start date and then the end date.
Correct.
And is it asking? It is not asking for any base salary or anything
Good. Good.
here.
Yeah. It is asking for a pensionable salary. You know what? If anything more than 15,000, we'll have to restrict it to 15,000 only. Our EPS
Okay, I
contribution
mean,
is
hmm.
EPS
Go ahead,
contribution,
sorry.
as I said, they will not consider more than 15,000. So this is what was challenged in Supreme Court.
Right.
Okay. So as of now, even if my salary is more,
Hmm.
for example, let me add it here as 50,000 rupees. Okay. It will tell me
Hmm.
you cannot add
Hmm.
more than 50,000. Its maximum is 15,000 only.
Okay, sure.
Okay. So how does it calculate, right? I have to do, because there is no direct calculation available. Of course, there is one calculation. What it says is the total number of years of service, multiply that by my pensionable salary, that's 15,000, divided by 70. So that will be my pension. That is the formula that's given. But the tricky part is that formula is not so straightforward, because we have the two divisions here. One is before 2014, second one is between 2014 and the current date. So we have to divide it based on these two. Why we have to do it is because before 31st of August 2014, the maximum allowable pensionable salary was only 6,500. Precisely that was the reason. If you see your old pension EPS contributions, all our contributions in our accounts were 6,500, 6,500, 6,500 into 0.0833. Sorry. Okay. 6,500 into 0.0833, that is 83%, 541 rupees. Okay. This was the contribution to EPS before 2014. Now the contribution is 1250 because this has been raised to 15,000 rupees. So we have to divide it between these two. Okay. So that's why what I've done is, based on this, I developed my Excel sheet. Okay. This is Excel sheet. You can see my screen, right?
Yes.
Okay. So wherever there's a yellow color mark, right, we have to enter the date. Again, this is not so important here because in Excel anyway, I'm not restricting it. You can enter any date of birth. But here we need to make sure if we are doing it in our in the EPS website, then if the today's date minus the date of birth, if it is less than 50, then it will show it is an error. Or unfortunately, it doesn't show any error. We have to figure it out, why it stopped responding. Okay, so for that reason, just add a date of birth which is more than 50 years, because if it is less than 50 years, anyway, this calculation will not apply. Okay, so date of employment, the start date and end date, we can put it here. And this is similar to what is 25 days, number of days, what I did not work or what I did not contribute. That is the number of days. I can change it to any number of days, right? 300 days, it's left to me. And the total gap between these two from 2014, September 1st onwards till now, till I get retired. I can put today's this year, or I can put it say 2030, 34, whatever is it. Okay. Now I calculated in a very similar fashion what I explained. Okay. That is, see here, the number of days is a very simple calculation. It is between the difference between the date between 2014 and 1995. If we started working before this date, then this calculation will not apply. Okay, so this is based on up to 1995 onwards. So this is number of days is nothing but a difference between 2014 and 1995, or 2014 minus my date of joining. That is a number of days. I'm just simply dividing it by 365, as you can see here. That is the number of years of service. And here from 2014 to now is, again, it is a very similar thing. It is the difference between my last contribution day, or if you want to put it, assuming that if I'm retiring today, then I can put it my today's date. It's basically taking this date minus 31/8/2014 number of days, and I'm converting that into years. Why do I need to do it? Because my calculation is these years I need to multiply with 6,500 as my base salary, and these years I need to multiply with 15,000 as my base salary, right? So that's the reason pension per month in this situation. Okay, even though I'm putting 20,000 here, right? Ideally it should be 15,000 only. I cannot put it more than 15,000, correct? So this is calculated up to here. As of now, this is my salary. How am I calculating it? See, I have already hard coded it as 15,000. This is because current scenario. 6,500 into F5 is basically the number of years here, and 15,000 into F6 is 8.4 years. And as I said, the total number of years, multiply it by the pensionable salary. That is, we have to divide it here between 6,500 and 15,000. For those who have joined after 2014, it's only 15,000 applies. Okay, and divide it by 70, and I'm just rounding it off to the nearest 100. Okay, so that's how I get somewhere around 3,300 rupees. If you see there is slight variation in this number and what EPS calculates, don't worry, because there are some additional bonuses it will add and some additional costs it may add. So, but roughly it matches. So that's what I verified. Roughly it matches to this number. So this is my pension as of now. Are we on the same page?
Yes.
Okay. Now what the new rule is telling me is this 15,000 I need not have to block it, right? My pensionable salary can be 50,000 rupees. So what happens if my pensionable salary is 50,000 rupees, right? Now the contribution to EPS, how it happens now? Now it is 8.33% of 6,500 is 541 earlier. Now I mean, this was again early 8.33% of 15,000 is 1250. This was my contribution. Now I have to calculate 8.33% of 50,000 rupees because this is my new salary, which Supreme Court has agreed that I am allowed to put my pensionable salary as 50,000 rupees. Then what it means is my 8.33% of my contribution will be calculated based on this 50,000, not 15,000. That means my outgo per month to EPS will be 4,165 rupees instead of 1250. Okay. So if I switch it today, then number of months from today to 31/8/2014, because this is when the change happened. This is a very simple calculation, is the days divided by 30. Days between today, okay, or whatever is the date I'm entering here, into this date, 2014 of August 31st, and just dividing it by 30. So this many months, I was supposed to contribute 4,165, but I contributed only 1,250. Okay.
Right.
Okay. So now what is the difference? The difference is between these two, that is 4,165 equal to 4,165 minus 1,250. This is the gap which I'm supposed to fill it back in case if I'm going to declare this as a 50,000 as my salary. And this multiplied by what? Multiplied by the number of months what I missed. Correct? This is this value, what we are seeing here. This is because why there is a difference is because it is 133, right? It's not exactly 133. It has some decimals, so decimals, don't worry about the decimals. So this is 3,01,074 rupees. I'm supposed to add it back to EPS account in case if I'm going with this new rule. If I do it, if I go and do it, how I'm supposed to do this is not very clear at this stage. Will it be deducted from my PF contribution after getting a permission from my employer, or will my employer or EPFO ask me to contribute this from additional source? That point is not clear yet. But yes, this money should go from our money, whether it goes from PF account or we are contributing from our own. This will go to the account of EPS so that my total corpus will be more. So what is the result out of it, right? Now, how much will be my new pension? How is this new pension calculated? So there's no change here because I'm not making any changes before 2014, correct? That is 6,500 only is going to remain the same. Now, this F6 is this field 8.4. Instead of multiplying it with 15,000, now I'll be multiplying it with 50,000. That's B8, this column, and divided by 70. This is what the rule says. Now my new pension will be 7,470. Is it okay? Are we on the same page? Or any questions so far?
Yeah, so Prasanna Mahesh here again. Please finish off. I
Okay.
will pose the questions
Okay.
so that your flow is not disconnected.
Okay. So this is my new pension. Now the question is it good to invest this money to get this pension or not? This is an important question what we're asking, right? Now let's assume if this is my new pension and this is my old pension, what is the difference? 4,170 rupees. To get this 4,170 rupees extra pension, how much I'm supposed to invest? I'm supposed to invest 3,01,074. Then what's my return? As a simple calculation, this return is nothing but this value 4,170 multiplied by 12. That is because 12 months I'll get it. Divide it by my investment, that is into B15. This is 3,01,000. The return is a whooping 16.6%.
Okay. Okay.
So perhaps my guess is this, because of this, right? So you will not get, or there is a lot of confusion in the net, and you see many advisors advising us not to go for this. The basic reasons are because you won't get one-time money from this, because it's obviously it's a pension, you won't get it one time, and you will lose your money currently. Yes, of course we'll lose our money currently, because this money we have to give it back, right? This money we have to give it back, and this money we'll get it only at a later point. That's what is the purpose of pension, right? We'll not be getting it this. But this seems to be a very huge loss to EPS account. But they have to comply to this because of a Supreme Court order.
Right.
What happens
And that
if,
could be the reason why they stopped.
seems to me, I don't know, seems to me, but
Yeah.
this is what is, see, for example, if my salary is 1 lakh, correct? I can just edit this figures here. My salary is 1 lakh. If I declare it, I have to pay 7,31,000. How I pay, this is not clear. Whether I pay from EPF or my personal money, that's okay. But look at this figure. I'm hitting on 16.7%. So what if I'm not retiring today? Whether the same calculation holds good. Suppose I'm retiring in 2034. Let me put a date, right? 01/2034. All Excel gets updated. Now my total outgo will be this much, 16,66,000. But remember, I will not be paying entire this amount today. Today, what I'll be paying is, if I just put today's date, right? Whatever was that figure earlier, I'll give that, and the remaining money. How will the remaining money go? Remaining money will go from here. Every month, remaining my months, 8.33% of my salary, that is 8,330 will go to EPS. If this money goes to EPS, then my total 12% out of my 12% contribution, right? That was 12,000 if it is 1 lakh, which my employer was contributing to my PF account. He'll still contribute only 12%. But out of that 12%, which is 12,000, he'll deduct this 8,330, which goes to EPS. And what we'll get is only the remaining, somewhere around 3,700, 3,670 rupees. That's what we'll get it. So our total contribution to PF account will be less. Yes, true. But our pension will be on a higher side. Any questions now? So this is the main gist of what I wanted to convey. If you
Right.
think that there is something, yeah, go ahead.
No, sorry. You were saying so.
Now,
Please,
what I was saying is,
complete.
if you think, right, see, because this is my own calculation, this is not verified,
Right.
validated by anyone. If you think there is anything which might be wrong, right, we can correct it together. Or if you think that, no, perhaps how is this calculation? So any questions, anything is open for discussion. Or how do we arrive at this figure? Because this is what I explained as how I have calculated it and how I am calculating a return. Any of this process, if any of you have any questions, so I'm happy to answer those.
Yeah. So, Prasanna, I did not find the formulas as deviated or wrong. It completely made sense when you explained step by step. Ultimately, the number, the annuity, the pension thing that you are specifying is working around 16%, 16.8.
Yeah, this is only for additional contribution, not for the earlier one.
Correct. Yeah,
Yeah.
that I completely understood, and definitely no annuity is currently giving. I mean, can never be giving that number, right, Prasanna?
Exactly. That's right.
Mm, yeah. Now the questions are, like say taking my example,
Mm-hmm.
from 2014 I changed two companies, Prasanna.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So they in the news what I read is we need to go and let employer know. I mean, our employer and employee together should submit a form.
That's right. Yeah.
So what is that? I mean, I have to go back to my previous two companies and
No, no,
uh,
no, no, no. From your current employer.
hmm,
Your current employer. Because your PF
okay,
account will be handled by your current employer, right?
right.
You and your current employer
Absolutely.
are supposed to fill that form and jointly give it.
Hmm, hmm.
And there is something called administration charge, which works out to be 0.5%. Okay. So
Hmm,
I'll show
hmm.
you. This is
Prasanna,
this. Yeah. This administration charge is 0.5%. So this PDF I downloaded from EPS website. Okay. Just to get the details of what's happening.
Okay. Uh, yeah. Right. So understood, Prasanna. Sorry, someone is asking question.
Yeah,
Before that,
please.
one last question from me.
Hmm.
So this is applicable for the folks who has joined after 1995,
Correct.
and then I mean after 2014 also. I mean, all the existing employees now can go and do this.
Correct. Yeah. And in
Oh
case
my
if they
God! Then
haven't,
EPS, they will go bankrupt, Prasanna. Okay.
but you know what?
Yeah, I don't.
Since the process is not so easy, right? And many of the companies themselves are not aware of this. And if you see whatever calculations I'm showing, right? Check in any websites and anything, there is no calculations available. Correct. So if we have to calculate, and if we find this as a figure, then this is too good figure.
Okay, yeah, sorry. Maybe one caveat there is if somebody wants to opt, they need to opt now. I mean, after that, they will
Yes,
not have a
yes,
choice,
yes,
right?
yes, 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 before March
Uh,
3rd, right? And
correct.
I'm sure EPS will make it, or the process may not be so easy, so that, and by the time people get educated about these things and calculating stuff, so it may be too late. That's what is my guess. And see, out of the
Yeah,
total number of employees, I doubt whether 1 or 2% will opt for this,
right,
because
right.
nowhere we see a favorable review on this. At least I couldn't able to find it.
Yeah. Okay. I am done with my questions. Next one, please. Go ahead.
Yeah, we have 10 more
hey,
minutes in this call. Yeah.
Okay,
Prasanna,
so
Yes, please go ahead.
Prasanna, Samir here.
Hmm.
This joint declaration for transfer, this is nowhere related to this, right? Inadvertently, I did
That
not
we
sign up
need to
for this.
submit it before 3rd of March, right? Joint declaration. Then only this
No,
change is going to
no,
happen.
correct. I was going through a struggle of transfer from PF, EPFO to a trust, okay, exempted organization.
Mhm.
So they made it mandatory for anyone who is doing transfer to sign a joint declaration
Okay.
with the previous employer.
Okay.
So I had posted in our group that joint declaration, and it also had this 15,000 and
Correct.
other things, but it is I feel it is nowhere related to this scheme.
No, 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 no. In your, I have your form right here. Show you.
Uh, That is, yeah.
I think this is
That one,
this
the
is our
last one, the
contribution,
last
right?
one,
The
the
last
last
one. One
one.
sec. Okay.
300 para. So that is not.
See in this, right? What we have is the
Oh,
first one is in case if I am not part of EPF, right? For them. Second part, come here for voluntary
oh,
contribution and higher wages.
oh,
So this is where is relevant to us.
oh,
See, this is with effect from which date I want to put. I want to put it as 2014, whatever is that date. Correct? And this is for additional thing going forward if I want to increase it. So this is for additional. So this is as of now. If we put it 2014 and whatever that date, then the calculation what I showed in few lakhs, we have to pay that. How we pay, that is not clear. And for going forward, whether instead of 8.533%, do I want to increase it? I can opt for any of these things. Yeah. I think these two should be filled and signed by both myself and by my employer and then submitted. So this form is relevant.
oh.
Okay. So any other
Yeah.
questions? We have few more minutes.
My only question is, are these changes because of the Supreme Court intervention?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Are these changes because of the intervention of Supreme Court?
That's right. Yeah.
Okay.
Because people challenge this 15,000. How can you consider 15,000 as my pensionable salary when I get 1 lakh, 1.5 lakh?
Okay.
The same thing was done earlier also. Earlier it was 6,500 before 2014. So then it was changed to 15,000. But now after doing this, so now they said that, okay, now you come up with whatever figure you want, but you pay the difference because that's what it should go to EPS. One catch probably, right, as the way of calculating the pension. In case if they say, okay, if we opt for this, then we'll not divide it by 70, we'll divide it by 100. Then this will go. But there is nowhere mentioned that we'll change the way of calculating a pension. So this is assuming that the way of calculating the pension remains same, and we will be adding this additional money
Okay.
because it's clearly mentioned in their website.
Have,
Way of calculating is the number of years of service multiplied by the pensionable salary divided by 70. That's been mentioned. If only my pensionable salary value changes, then the remaining two values remain the same, then I will be hitting on this figure. If they realize that no, this is too much, we can't bear, then if they want to change the formula, that's a different story altogether. But as of now, this is the story.
so is that something they overlooked or some
I don't know.
miscalculation on that part?
I don't know.
I mean,
See, because if see, my only point here is, so this is black and white, right? This is what I'm calculating. If we think that anything is is incorrect or we overlooked something, we can correct it. As I said, so I'm not getting this calculation anywhere. No websites, nothing. So this is again based on my calculation. But yes, this figure you can validate whatever was the earlier figure, right? Because we have a calculator there, even though there's no formula. We have a calculator here that we can verify what is my current pension. But the remaining, I'm just extrapolating the same calculation to arrive at the remaining pension.
Yeah. So, Prasanna, the number is definitely too good to believe. We, yeah, we will see. Like you rightly mentioned, we'll discuss with the finance team in the company as well to understand more. If I get any further updates, I will update you on Monday. Tomorrow, our 10th anniversary for the company. We are too busy. Nobody will be responding.
Okay.
Then next thing, maybe a wrong question, but still asking. This is like an annuity where the pension comes, but then once the person is no more,
50%
the
goes
amount
to
corpus whatever.
no 50% goes to the spouse.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought it will not come. Okay. All right. Yeah. This is good enough, Prasanna. Sorry, maybe we all kept you on a time bound
No.
pressure.
No. Because I mean, see, I wanted to explain it with writing, but I thought it's too much to explain. So thought it's better to have a call and sort it out.
I think I wouldn't have got it if it was in writing.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Thank you, Prasanna.
Thanks,
Bye.
Prasanna.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much.
You're
Good
welcome.
night.
Good night.
Prasanna, thank you.
Yes, sir. You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay. So if no further questions, I'll stop it here then.
All
Bye.
right.
Okay.
Dropping off, Prasanna.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.
Thanks.